Hi everyone, welcome home. It's our podcast again. This is episode 5 of the first season. We're almost through season 1 and what fun we're having. Today I've brought two very, very special ladies, two community champions. I like to recognise them as very inspirational indeed. I'm going to let them introduce themselves. So we've got the lovely Cath Brooks.
Hi everybody, I'm Cath Brooks. I'm a health promotion officer for Taurus Foundation and a social prescriber. And in my spare time, use that word really loosely, but in my spare time I run Debra Family Centre as well.
And then we've got Debra Hill.
Morning everyone, it might not be morning. I'm Debra Hill. I used to wear a lot of hats. I think I've took a couple of hats off now, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
I think you've just put them to one side.
Slipped them down
on
a bit.
as and when.
I used to teach English as a second language. I set up a community cafe for asylum seekers and refugees, and now I do a lot of volunteering for various cancer charities.
So yeah, two very inspirational ladies. Doesn't sound like they do much there. Let's get into it, girls. Go on. What's your week consisted of last week? Tell me some of the things that happened in your week last week.
Well, for me, I do like 4 long days in work, so that covers all.
Is that the same days every week?
Yeah. And then the rest of the time I'm at the centre, so we're either organising activities or running training programmes, running the food pantry, ordering food and collecting food, the general stuff that we do in the community centre. I think for me, as the social prescriber and the health promotion officer for Taurus, I love like that element of it because we do tend to, go on journeys with our customers, and it's lovely seeing people like lacking in confidence perhaps, but then building the confidence up, making more friends, going out more, that kind of thing, and also like just linking people up with services they need to make their lives better.
Yeah.
I get a lot of satisfaction outside. I think it's a really nice job for me there. And then from the family side of it, from the family centre side of it, that's just mad. It's just a real old-fashioned community centre, a bit like Phoenix Nights sort of thing. But that's what's really funny about it, and it really.
Don't think you're going to offend anyone.
No, well, do you know what? It's par, isn't it? We love par. We live here. We live here, and if we want to call par, we can. But woe betide anybody else. Woe betide anybody else who puts par down to me. But yeah, it's just it sort of turns into a little bit of a hub like yourselves, hasn't it? It's like those are the places that everybody knows in par, and hopefully, like people know that they're the place to come to for help as well in par. Yeah. I hope so. I think people have got a lot of trust in us in that respect. So
yeah. I agree. Yeah, because it is the centre, isn't it?
Yeah,
I would say
they're the centre. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So you're quite busy. What about you, Deb?
I literally cannot tell you what I did last week because every single day of mine now is completely different. I never have 2 days the same at all, and it's really hard when people say, "Can you give me a date for this?" And I'm like, "You'll just have to wait a minute," and I just look in my diary and think, "Wait. Where have I got?" I mean, I don't think we've got a weekend free now between me and my husband until way into the new year. Wow. Every weekend has got something on. Not all me. A lot of it is him as well, especially coming up to Christmas and stuff, gigs and stuff like that.
Yes, now.
But yeah, just thinking about Cath with the par thing. We all live in par. I don't live in par, but I'm like an adopted parite.
You definitely are.
I think I first got in touch with Cath. When I was looking at setting up, I was teaching English for the council, and I was looking at setting up something for asylum seekers and refugees because they were learning English, they were getting qualifications, but they couldn't get a job because they couldn't do the practical stuff. So we needed something extra.
How long ago was that?
This was in 2019.
Right.
So 2018, I was teaching them. 2019, I was like, this piece of paper is not going to help. It's teaching them grammar, how to use a full stop and how to construct a sentence. Who in St Helens uses grammar when they're speaking? I mean, who in England uses grammar?
Well, it's like the Queen's English.
Nobody
uses
it
that way, aren't they?
So they couldn't use the English that they were learning outside of the classroom. So I got a few of them together. We were really lucky, actually, with the council. We got some funding from Liverpool City region where we could do, like, projects and special things which was really good because I set up a class with about 8 of them. And leading up to this, I'd become very friendly with a lot of the adults from the Syrian community because St Helens had taken them in as the resettlement project, but for me, they weren't really engaged as such. They were. I've worked with refugees and asylum seekers for quite a while now. I used to do it when I very first started teaching, probably 20 years ago, if not more. And the first refugees I worked with were Kosovan refugees in that time when we had that war going on. So I got to know a lot of the Syrians, and Arabic culture was something I wasn't aware of. I just didn't have a lot of knowledge about it. So I started learning about it, started meeting some of the families because they're spread all around St Helens, they're not just in one area. Me and my husband were going for meals to the houses and seeing, every time we went for a meal, it was fascinating, all this big roll, it could have fed the full street on the floor, and you're all sat down, the babies are eating off the floor, there's no high chairs, there's no baby food, it's just everything goes. But as we were there, we were helping them with all the stuff that they couldn't do, making phone calls where it's press 1 for this, press 6 for the other. Health things, appointments, letters that they were getting that they had no idea what these letters were saying. And it was really important stuff from schools and stuff. So we got to know them really, really quite well. And then I got a few of them together. I thought, their hospitality skills, the cooking skills are second to none. I don't need to teach them anything about cooking, thank God. I've got a degree in hospitality management, but I do not like cooking food. I like eating food, as we all know. But
she definitely does.
Cooking food, oh my word, no, it's just not for me. So I got them all together and I'm like, right, we need to think of a business that you can work in. You can practice your English in it. I can help you. Customer service, I love customer service. I'm really hot on that. Excuse me.
I think you wanted progression, didn't you, for them?
Yeah.
And as well, you wanted community cohesion, didn't you?
Exactly.
You wanted them to be involved more in the community, didn't
St
you?
Helens
Rather
at the
than
time.
it's quite separate, wasn't it?
Yeah, 97.7% white.
And that's
British.
something meaningful, isn't it? Rather than just a tick box exercise. I've got funding to do this, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
It's doing something meaningful that will continue. And
Exactly.
Yeah,
and thankfully, it has continued. So I first went to Cath and I said, Cath, I've got this really good idea. I want to set up this. It turned out that it was going to be a cafe that they wanted to set up. I want to set this cafe up. I don't know where to start. Cath, straight away. Have you spoke to this person? Have you spoke to that person? I'm like, no, I don't know them. I don't know anyone. So she put me in touch with the right people. We got it set up in one of the children's centres. So I had no rent to pay. It was a complete try it and see. Let's see where we're going now. We got shut down, obviously, in lockdown, as everybody did. But even before we got closed down, God, it was flying, wasn't it, Cath? It was amazing. Cath then came as a director.
Yeah.
It was doing so well, and then it had to shut down in lockdown. We then worked, when lockdown opened up, but the children's centres weren't quite open up, we then used Derbyshire Hill Family Centre. So we got the kitchen in there, got the food, environmental health to come out and do all the checks.
Yeah. You was doing deliveries and
everything. We were doing deliveries.
There, right?
We had free bikes from a project in Liverpool. So some guys were trained up how to do deliveries and ride the bike safely around St Helens. And then, unfortunately then, in December of 21, I got diagnosed with terminal cancer, stage 4, breast cancer that's already spread. So I didn't know I had a primary breast cancer. It had already gone to a secondary cancer. I knew nothing about this at this point. Very, very little experience of people with cancer in my life. I knew a lady who I used to manage at work years ago, and she had the same cancer, but I didn't know that. I just knew that she had a breast cancer that had come back. And at the time, I just remember my mum saying to me, if it's come back, she's going to die. And she did die, unfortunately, after a few months, but she did die. And she was phenomenal. Oh, my God. She was not finishing work until she died, literally. We did everything to keep her in a job. But looking back, I now know that it was the same cancer. I didn't know, because I didn't know anything about cancer. And then I was told, I'd gone into hospital and they thought it was sepsis. Long story short, sent me for a scan. It's cancer, breast cancer, but it's already spread onto your spine. And I remember my mum and dad coming into the hospital, and I was sat there in this bed, and I'm like, right, I've got to tell them. They'd only come to visit. I'm like, I've got to tell them this is going to be horrific. It's the worst thing I have ever had to do in the whole of my life. So I told my mum and dad, and then they came in with a wheelchair, just as literally as I told them. A Macmillan nurse came in. They put me in the wheelchair, sent me for an MRI scan, and my mum and dad are just in pieces in this room with Neil, and I'm just like, to this Macmillan woman, you're going to have to help them because I've literally just dropped the bomb on the whole world. And I remember lying in that scan and thinking, because I was in for about an hour in MRI, isn't it? I'm in there thinking, right, who's going to look after the cafe now? I know, JB can do it. JB is a friend who I knew I used to work with him, and we've become close through work, and he does all the food safety training. I thought, he'll do it, he'll manage it, he'll be fine. And on that same night, as I got him in my hospital bed on the night, I said to Neil, right, I'm going to have to phone everyone up and tell them all, because everyone thinks I've got sepsis. And I've not, which is really good. I've not got sepsis. So I had to phone people up and say, no, I've got some good news and not some bad news. I bet you were one of those phone calls.
I was just thinking about that, because you was actually in hospital with my daughter, if you remember. Hannah was in all the time with you.
Yeah.
So Hannah and Deb both had illnesses at the same time, but and nobody knew what they were, if you know what I mean. So we kept crossing paths in hospital. I kept saying, are you here again, Deb? And she kept saying, are you here again? It was just, and then I was actually in Hannah's house minding the children, because she was still in hospital when Deb rung me to tell me about diagnosis.
Yeah, so I just did all these phone calls. We've got good news. I've not got sepsis, however. But yeah, we've just got on with it. I mean, for me, it is just one of them things that you've just got to. You can either decide, well, that's it, that's the end of it for me, or you can think, well, actually, no, I'm not having those average dates, and I'm.
She makes me dead emotional.
Carry on.
She makes me really emotional. I can't cope with how strong you are.
But I think you've got to be.
I know, I get that.
I think you've got to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a choice. I think it's just something.
I think something probably comes from inside, doesn't it? Takes over and then drives. That's the driving force, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think how I actually met you, because it was definitely Cath who said I'm adopted par right. Yours must have been through your raffles and things.
I think it probably
through
was.
Facebook, isn't it? We're always sharing
raffles,
pre-loved. The second-hand pre-loved stuff, And I remember coming into Bold when you were in your first venue.
I can't remember at the time you actually told me about your illness, and
I think I'd already been diagnosed when I met you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, you had.
So it was just a part of it.
Because you weren't doing Cafe Lizzie's at that point, were you?
No. So luckily, two girls who I used to work with, and again, everyone I work with, I've become friends with if they're nice people. So if I'm not your friend, you know why. So I've become friends with, and then they've now taken over Cafe Lizzie's. So that is carrying on, and that's doing really well. Really busy since all the protests and some of the not nice stuff that's going on around at the moment. But they're flourishing. They're people who don't want to counter-protest and don't want to speak up because they don't
show
like
the
being in an
support
argument.
in that way, can't they? They can channel it there.
They go there and show the support, and it's amazing. And it's lovely to see it doing so well. It really is. But then, I came in. I must have been buying something from you, or I must have won a raffle.
It was probably shoes, because you had a thing for shoes, didn't you? No, look at these.
Well, these.
Look at these, everybody.
I won these
How
on
cool
a raffle.
are they?
I won them on one of Joe's raffles.
Machino, you know.
I think they're gorgeous.
Are they £100 and odd pounds?
Yeah.
Won them on a couple of pound raffle. Yeah.
Probably £2 a number, wasn't it? And you've now got yourself a nice.
I love Joe's raffles, too.
And if they didn't fit, I'd have made them fit.
Or if they don't fit, just give some to somebody else.
Well, this is it. But that's what it's all about, isn't it? Reuse and recycle. Yeah.
Definitely.
Gorgeous.
I think that's one of the best things. Because you're only paying a small bit of money out, aren't you?
It's a scratch card, isn't it?
But it adds up, doesn't it? And you've got a chance of winning something back.
Yeah. If you're at the till buying your shopping and you ask for a £2 scratch card, it's just like that, isn't it? But you've got more chance of actually winning something.
Absolutely.
Somebody came to Breastmates, your events, actually, at the Family Centre, and she looked so glamorous. I won't say who it is. She'll know who I'm talking about, though. She looked really, really glamorous, all dressed up. And I said, wow, you look gorgeous today, you. And she said, yeah, they're all from Joel's place.
Oh, I know who it is.
Do you know them? And I went, oh, get you.
We have one lady who's a massive supporter of ours. I won't mention her name, but she'll know who I'm talking about. And last year she went to Turkey for a week. I think it was they went to Turkey, and she had every single thing in my suitcase
was
from the
yours.
pre-love shop.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I love
And
that.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Because
Makes a difference.
it's like I say, you're only paying. You're not spending loads of money. So as a supporter of Bold, you think, well, I'm not really doing much, am I? But if everybody
you are.
goes
Yeah,
and buys those
yeah.
little bits, it mounts up,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Definitely.
exactly.
Mounts up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I met you. Yeah.
And now we can't get rid of you, can we?
No, not a chance.
We don't want to get rid of her, do we?
Not a chance.
Never.
No, so now I'm going back to your original question. What did you do last week? Who knows? I usually have a few weeks respite when my mum and dad are on holiday because I care for my mum and dad pretty much full time. I'm around there 3 times a day. I love my mum and dad to bits. They live on the next avenue. We are so close. But they do. My mum in particular has a lot of health issues. So it's constant appointments. I've obviously got a lot of health issues, so I've got my own appointments.
It's lovely you've got that support though for
Yeah,
each other,
it
isn't
is,
it? And you're
it
both
is.
helping each other through everything.
And I do think...
It's nice watching her and the
Look-
pictures
look-
on Facebook. I love it.
Yeah, and she would never let me have a
I
picture
know she
until I was
wouldn't, and
diagnosed.
now she's
Would she
professional,
not?
isn't she?
No, she would not
She
have a
refused to
picture
any
taken.
pictures, did she?
She used to fall out with you for a month if you tried to take a
Oh,
picture.
wow.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
hates having a picture took. Yeah, and so since I was diagnosed, I think all our attitudes have changed. And I
Changed to
think probably
everything.
everyone who we've met has, because
It's like-
I
yeah,
think
it's
it does have a little
life-changing,
impact
isn't
on
it?
everyone,
It does
doesn't it? Because
influence
it does
everybody.
make you think, is that really that important?
Yeah.
Does it really matter that much? And like, my dad used to constantly shout at me for doing too much, you're going out too much, you're doing this too much. And I remember screaming at him once, I could be dead in 3 years' time. And he was like, okay.
Did you get your own way then?
Yeah, not with my dad. No, I don't. I do with my mum, but no, my dad. No, I still have to ask my dad permission to do things. I'm still.
Well, you'll always be his little
Daddy's
girl.
little girl.
You'll always be his little girl,
Yeah.
won't you? Nothing's
Yeah.
going to change that, is it? So.
Yeah, pretend I'm not going out when I am going out. At age 52, I'm just going home for sleep, Dad.
I think
Yeah.
one of the things I got from you when we first met was your sort of like, I don't take any bullshit no more.
No, I don't anymore.
If something doesn't sit right with me, I cut it off. I just
Yeah.
And I think
I honestly think, and this is when I want to have a chat with you as well. I'm looking at your last podcast, how your mind never stops, and you're probably the same because you're on the go constantly. I honestly put my illness down to stress. I don't think it's anything else. I think
I'm my own worst enemy because I know that when I look at my mum
Yeah.
now with her dementia, that
Yeah.
I have to say that to myself. But then the other part of me thinks, are
It'll
you
never
a
happen to
stress
me.
head? And if you didn't have all that stress, then you'd have time to think, and that's when something will get
Do
hold
you know
of
what,
you.
Joe? That's exactly what I was going to say about everything before. Because for me, I've been diagnosed as ADHD now at age 59.
I'm thinking.
At age 59.
I definitely think I'm not going to go through the process.
No,
but
but I
do.
did because work, it supported me
Yeah.
through that. But there was all sorts of strategies they recommended and everything else. But like, I was like, I'm 59. I've obviously managed my strategies this far. So, but what it does do is exactly like you, because with mental health issues and things like that, if I'm quiet, that's when I'll get down and I'll start overthinking about things and start feeling like really low.
Yeah.
So.
And you're looking for the next distraction then, aren't
I
you?
have to
Right,
be...
just concentrate on that or go and...
You have to be busy all the time.
But then I get what you're saying, Deb.
Yeah, there's a fine line, isn't there?
There is a fine line.
There's a fine line.
Yeah. And I agree with finding things to do and stuff like that. Yeah. But I remember my husband saying to me at one point, you're going to meet yourself coming backwards. And I'm like, just what I do. It's the way I work. I love going in work early. I love being the last one there. I love getting the best of the best and blah, blah, blah. And I did literally meet myself coming backwards. It was just, I did have a massive breakdown. This is before my diagnosis, obviously. I had a massive breakdown. I hit that brick wall and it was like, I just need a little bit of time just to get my head straight and then I'll get back on the path. And the doctor gave me some tablets. I'm not taking them. I'm not ill. What's wrong with them? And I remember Neil in a queue in a supermarket going, will you please take your tablets?
Oh.
There's nothing wrong with me. What's the matter with you? And it's hard to see for yourself.
Yeah.
But you definitely need those self-care things in place because if not, like you've had a little breakaway, you need it.
Do you think that was the start of your illness or...
I don't know if it was the start of it, But I do think that definitely affects your immune system and your own body shuts down, so you've not got that fight in your body anymore. And when I look back at, when you look at all the prevent stuff for cancer and making sure that you cut out alcohol, cut out everything I did when I was younger. I'm a prime example for getting cancer. But then my mum is the same as me. She eats less healthy than me. We don't do any exercise. And she's, touch wood, I mean, I don't want her to get it. I don't know what to do. But she's never got it. So I don't think it's something you caused yourself. But I do think that the level of stress that I had at the point affected my immune system.
Sort of
And it's allowed the cancer to grow, if you like. Yeah.
I think you do have to be aware of your work-life balance, don't you, when you're doing
Yeah,
what we're doing?
100%.
Yeah, because
and family stresses as well.
Of course,
Everyone's got family stresses, haven't they?
I think you've always got to have something to look forward to. Like, I've just got back from Belfast and it was quite an emotional time, really, because we went around all Derry and everywhere else. But it's that just switch off time for... Nobody's knocking at the door, no one's... I think you've got to do that.
Yeah.
Well, we got the caravan because of that, because when you live and you work in the same place as well, it's even harder to switch off, isn't it? You know, because I remember when we first started working at Torres Lake, you'd go to the shop and it'd take you like 2 hours to take the dog for a walk.
It's a 24-hour job.
Because you'd get asked loads of questions, you know, so getting the caravan, you know, on that Friday night, you go, I get to the bridge sort of thing where the caravan is, and
your shoulders just literally drop.
You know, very rare. I mean, you will see odd people from down there because Joe's got a caravan not far away from us, and a couple of other people have as well, haven't they? So, but that's nice. You just see somebody at a market or something, or you just shouting across the road to him. But it's just that you know, you're not a tourist foundation worker. You're not you're not the family centre anymore. You're just Cath, and you're just there to enjoy yourself like everybody else, and you can really switch off. You just feel your responsibilities go, sort of thing.
Absolutely, and that's where
I think it's really important.
Very important. I think that's what you're saying with the boundaries and that. And I don't think I ever had boundaries in place. It was just like everybody just take a bit of whatever, because that's what you like doing. You like helping people, don't you? You like giving a bit more.
I do that. I do struggle with that, but then I think these last couple of years, and I think,
better.
I don't know if this might be you actually, but
Probably.
I do say no a lot more now. I do say no, or else say things like if somebody messages you from the family centre or something at the weekend, they're really, really good though now, you know, and I'll say, I really don't want to answer back at the weekend. I'm not being awful, but I just need to have at least a couple, you know. And they're like, oh, yeah. And very often, I have heard them saying to each other, there's two in particular, and they'll say, do not ring Cath at the weekend. Do not message. Like, they're really, you know, and they're so
You should put one of them bounce backs on you and it says, I've got your message, I will reply.
Yeah, I should. But I think people, because we've had those conversations, they're really good now, and they're like, oh, God, no, don't ring Cath.
It used to be a great thing, didn't it, where you'd work yourself literally to death and to the bone.
It used to be seen as good, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like...
It's not effective at all.
You're the top of your game because you're working 24 hours a day. It's brilliant. I don't think it is anymore. I think people need to realise that there needs to be that boundary in place, and people, by example, if you've got a boundary in place at your workplace, other people coming up will then see, oh, you don't get anything better for working. Get better if you look after yourself, because then you can give more to other people.
And be more productive, when you're doing it.
Well, you are. You're setting an example, because then people will think, even Cath has to switch off at some point.
You have to.
You've got that physical boundary on
Friday
Friday night.
It's really important for your mental health, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's such a big issue these days. So I think it's good that people have recognised that's not how it should be.
Yeah,
definitely. 100%. Thank you, Cath. So we've not got much time left. We are called to time. So just before we finish, could you just both give me what's your passion project at the minute? What would you like to promote and get out there while you've got the opportunity?
Can I just talk about two quickly though?
Whatever, yeah.
So in regards to Torres Foundation, I mean the way that they support what I do in the community is amazing. So like my role is sort of split between social prescribing and community activities. So they did fund the food pantry that started off Debra Family Centre with VCA as well. But it's just that they understand what kind of work I'm trying to do there as well. And I've just completed a year project with Core 20 Plus Ambassadors programme around suicide awareness and suicide prevention. And we've put a lot of support in the centre really in regards to that. So we've had some volunteers trained with mental health first aid. suicide prevention training, that kind of thing. We put a lot of posters up in the centre, you know, with like the strip attached things, you know, with all the emergency crisis numbers, that kind of thing. We put things in the food pantry bags, all sorts of little things that we hope, you know, will help some.
Things,
sort of under the radar support sort of thing. And like I said, the volunteers are really equipped to know how to speak to people or support them if things get brought up to them. So I think that's really, really good. And the other thing, obviously, is the centre as well. Just that, for me, I want to leave a legacy sort of thing in Par. I want people to like come to that centre and really develop, which is, we've sort of proven that the last couple of years. We've got a group of girls who've done all sorts of training, first aid, defib, mental health, first aid training, like I said.
Well, a lot of them particular ladies are supported to the hub as well.
They
So
do.
we all work hand in hand.
I really like that, that we, you know.
Yeah.
So they're doing really well as well. I think that it's just that I want to leave good there, you know, in Par.
I think you've already done that.
Well, I hope so. But also the Christmas tree switch on as well on the 4th of December is so exciting because that sort of links. We've always had like a bit of a link with the suicide awareness stuff with that Christmas tree, because very often afterwards, once the lights are switched on and everything, for days after, people come and put the mementos on there. And I think it's dead special, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's another thing. You end up crying every Christmas about that because it just. Because I know
Christmas is a hard
almost,
time.
But I mean, from working in mental health myself,
we?
St Helens has got one of the highest suicide, especially male suicide, one of the highest rates in the full country.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't think that, would you?
No.
But, well, you would.
Well, we do,
because we work in
we
the middle of it, don't we? But to think that St Helens of all places is one of them places that's got the highest statistics, that's quite worrying.
So I think
isn't
that's like my passion, really, because I know a lot of the lads, and you know, through my kids and things like that, and the families, and you know what impact it has for years afterwards, don't you?
It does.
So yeah, that's definitely a passion of mine. So that's why we go all out for the Christmas tree switch on as well, which you're going to be part of.
We
this
are
year.
going to be part of this year. Yeah.
So there's loads of surprises coming up with Jo, what she's going to be doing at that. So that'll be really exciting. What's there too much? Don't give too much away, Jo, because I'm keeping it all. Zipped. Yeah.
Right. So Deb, go on. Your passion project at the minute.
Obviously, Cath is running along nicely in the background. I love the fact that that's happening. Any support, direct to them. But for me personally, at the moment, my obvious big passion is cancer charities. So I work for, I don't work, I volunteer for a few different cancer charities. Make Seconds Count, which is a national one for secondary breast cancer. Breastmates is a local one for people with breast cancer at any stage. And Sam's Diamonds is one, any cancer at any stage. They're both local. And also in Derbyshire Family Centre, we did some Macmillan Cancer Champion training as well. So the ladies are trained up in that as well. And gentlemen, actually.
Yeah, us.
So I think for me, it's important that if anyone knows somebody going through a really difficult time with cancer, my number is always open. Cath often passes numbers on to me and says, I've got this lady and she's really struggling. Would you mind if they phoned you? And I will phone them and say, look, or text them and I'll say, phone me anytime you want to. I think it's like with everything, you've got to build that relationship up. It's that trust. And so if somebody knows a face or knows a person who you can recommend them on to, I do get laughed at quite a lot in one of the charities because it's like I'm recruiting new recruits, which obviously nobody wants in this club. Nobody wants to be in my club. But if you are touched by it at any point, please do get in touch with myself by all means, and I can then pass on the various different charities. And if you need somebody to go with you, I'm happy to go with you. Cath Ladies, the Cancer Champions, I'm sure would be more than happy.
Definitely.
Fab. Okay, so that's where we're going to round it up. So thank you very much for joining me today, ladies. It's been a blast as usual. We always end up laughing, don't we? And so if I add my bits on for Bull Bale, a quick update for the rest of this year. So we've got one more podcast coming up. I'll be bringing another inspirational lady along with me next time, Shannon Hill. So she's another local girl, very young, started up her own business doing all things SEN, a real good advocate for children, young people, families with any sort of additional needs. So she's joining me next time, so that'll be one to watch. We've got our Christmas fair coming up on the 7th of December. We're going to have a grotto at that one as well. So that's 3 till 5 p.m. in St Philip's Church on Sunday, the 7th of December. We've got The Christmas light switch on is the 4th. We've been invited, so our members are going to have a really good go at achieving that one, Cath. I'm not giving too much away, but we've got some nice surprises that night. And also our mini bus appeal is still going. We're now over £1,000. I'm absolutely delighted. We've got 15 families with a total of 39 children. So I've got all the names, names, ages, what their likes are, what their dislikes are, what they've put on their wish list. Anybody that wants to help with that, please give us a bell, ring, get in touch, just come along and help if you can. That's it for now. So again, thank you very much, ladies, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you. Please subscribe.